Social media, since its invention, it has drastically changed everyone's way of living. Gone are the days of focusing on our hobbies, intimate connections with other people, and most of all, our focus. I came to that realization, I think like a week or two ago at this point. I realized that social media and everything else in this little magic device completely derailed my life and my focus. And in order to properly explain why I came to that conclusion, we have to go back to the beginning. Up until I turned 18, I never really had access to this little magical device where everything you could ever want and need is in the palm of your hands. It's almost weird now looking back before I had it and looking back at the days where I didn't have instant entertainment at the tips of my fingers. I grew up with very strict parents, so I wasn't allowed to have a phone or social media until I moved out, let alone have unsupervised internet access. Without social media and cell phones, I had all the time in the world outside of schoolwork to focus on my hobbies and the things that made me happy. I drew pictures constantly. My entire room was coated with artwork that I have drawn. I also used that free time to pick up guitar and eventually piano and kalimba and synths and all this crazy stuff. I would sit in my room day in and day out at the detriment of my parents' patience, practicing, doing nothing but being obnoxiously loud and doing art that would appear in some magazines. Back then, I was focused. I had clear goals and ambitions in mind of what I wanted to accomplish with my life. I wanted to go somewhere with my music. I wanted people to hear my music and appreciate the art that I drew and everything else that I was doing with my time. I spent every moment of every day working towards those goals. I wasn't really comparing myself to others either. I was unapologetically myself and authentic. Then one day that changed. The day came where I finally turned 18. I had moved out of my parents' house into my grandmother's house and gained the ability to start making my own decisions. And what did 18-year-old me do first? The me that was heavily behind on what the hell my friends were referencing every 5 minutes? What is this yeet everybody is talking about?
Here.
This bitch is empty. Yeet!
I bought my first phone. I didn't feel too much pull towards social media itself, but to have a connection with my friends and more, I ended up having to download things like Instagram and Facebook Messenger and all these other apps. And like I said, the goal when I first downloaded these was just to stay in contact with my friends. As you can imagine, that did not last very long. I wanted to follow my friends' posts, though I quickly discovered how big the world actually was. Up until this point, without internet, I existed in my own little bubble. So to finally be able to see what this beautiful world of ours held, I felt like my eyes were opened for the first time. I had access to learn anything and everything whenever I wanted, meet new and amazing people all the time, and I had the ability to try to make a change. I started posting selfies on Instagram almost every day. I started a YouTube channel called The Grey Ghoul, which I'm thinking about reviving, by the way. You should check it out. And even started streaming. I won't lie, I met some amazing people online. Through those connections, I made trips to numerous other states that I otherwise would never have gone to. And I will forever be thankful for the people that have come and gone in my life thanks to social media. What originally started as a way to keep in touch with friends quickly spiraled out of control, and shortly after getting my first phone, social media had a full grasp on me. I could not do anything without my phone being there. Eating a meal? Why not watch a video and browse Instagram? Doing laundry? Let's see what's new on TikTok. Every little spare second that I had, I was on my phone. But it just gets worse from there. Even when I was home and I still had all the time in the world to create art like I did before, I instead would play games, doom scroll on Instagram and TikTok, and answer messages the split second that I got them. After all, I had an obligation to answer messages as soon as possible, lest my friends think I was ignoring them and I just vanish from their thoughts and I never hear from them again. Don't get me wrong, I still played guitar and made videos that attracted a big audience at the time. That didn't stop social media from being on my mind 24/7. It started being such a distraction that I was working less and less on my goals and the stuff I wanted to accomplish. Yes, granted, when I was actively streaming, social media being my go-to was actually beneficial in some way. Did I really want my life to be centered around this phone? As I said before, I met some good people thanks to the internet. That's pretty much the only good thing I can say that it has added to my life. In a lot of ways, social media made my already poor mental state at the time even worse. I started comparing myself to others, as a lot of other people do. I started seeing others succeed where I failed and wonder where I went wrong. I started telling myself I wasn't trying hard enough, and the more I compared myself, the more I started feeling like a failure. The more I focused on this feeling and the more I compared, the less drive I had to actually do anything. If this other person's a multi-millionaire musician at 21, why am I 25 and I haven't gone anywhere with the music that I so desperately wanted to do growing up? I was officially consuming a lot more than I was creating. My screen time across both my phone and laptop would hit 12 hours of screen time. Oh my god. This would continue for a whole 7 years. 7 years I'd wasted more focused on what little Jimmy was posting on TikTok than those goals and aspirations I was so passionate about growing up. Eventually, I hit a point where I knew it was time for change. Lately, I've been watching a lot of self-help videos and videos of other people ditching social media and some ditching their phones altogether. And watching a lot of those videos and how it affected those people helped me make the decision to more or less delete my socials from my phone that I had spent so long building up. At first, I was fascinated at the thought of people dumbifying their phones and their life. After all, using vinyl, CDs, DVDs, MP3 players, and a flip phone in 2025, how can you even do that at this point? But the more of these videos I watched, the more I started to understand. I came to the realization that it wasn't that hard, it's just that I was addicted to social media, and it had stopped me from achieving everything I wanted to achieve. When you spend every free second of your time on your phone pretending you are actually studying to work towards your goals and you're not, you get nowhere. TikTok, gone. Instagram, I haven't fully decided what I want to do in the grand scope of things. For the past bit now, I had everything uninstalled on my phone but accessible on my laptop. I still need to be able to post to Instagram and post videos without getting sucked into endless, mindless swiping again. I could implement time limits, but then I usually just hit add more time or ignore. I haven't fully decided how I want to go about it, but I just know I won't be as active on my socials, at least the way I usually am. I still fully intend on posting as much as I can. That's pretty much it. I may just hop on to post, then get off and go back to the grind. I cannot get distracted like I did before, but I don't want to miss opportunities to meet new people again. If you guys have any ideas, or maybe if any of you use social media sparingly, share how you do it down below. I'm sure others would love to hear your stories. Hopefully some of you get something from this video. It's not my usual type of post here, but it's something I felt I needed to talk about. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.